It's 9:30, so I'll make it pretty quick. This is kind of just a really simple, short talk. It's like an after-dinner mint after all these talks today. Comedy through controlled randomization sounds more complicated than it is. This is my studio, Nonsense Machine. We just released our first commercial game, Drift City Kings, in June. It's on Steam now, it's on sale, go and get it, please. Please leave a review. And that's my talk. No, I'm joking. Does anyone remember doing this kind of stuff in primary school where you like fill in the gaps and make a funny sentence? This is what I'm talking about today. But these are called Mad Libs, which I only learnt like 2 weeks ago. I thought I invented the whole idea, which I called controlled randomization. So this technique I used in all different aspects through Drift City Kings to spice up the dialogue and spice up the text to give everyone a unique experience every time they play. So a quick example is just one variable in a sentence that's randomly selected from a list. So here an NPC might say, "Hello, I'm a silly person," or someone else playing might get, "I'm a terrible person." You never know, there's danger. You can apply for a job at a company in the game, and all the company names use this randomization technique. So it's just split up as like 3 different variables, or sometimes 2. Get creative. So macro, mama, and sons, that's 3 words that were selected from 3 lists of possible words. Sorry. And it's just put together to give you a funny name. And, the more variables you have, the more possible funny names you can get. Another one, Twit Dad Corp, which we all use to do our social media on. The name generator, I didn't want people to just input anything they wanted because you just know they're going to put the F word or other bad words that I don't want in my game. I'm sorry. And so I just made it, you have a choice of 3 by 3 syllables that you can put together. It's limited, and that's why you get funny results. So these are all the possible names you can get from these options. 27, I think that is. And I also added that you can mute the second or third syllable to give you a few more extra options. So you get 45 possible names here. One of my favorite uses is just making funny names. So Gank, it sounds vile. This NPC just happened to line up the adjective vile with the name Gank, which does sound vile, unless your name really is Gank here, in which it's a really lovely name. World famous underground artist Dog P, that was generated by, I imagine it's like Drift City's version of Banksy. And we got a stone guy here called Peter Pebble, which is just an awesome name. It's like Peter Rabbit if he was made of stone. And this is my favorite one I added recently, just randomly generated book names. So this one's funny to me because it didn't line up at all. It's called Ha Ha, I Hate Jokes. And he's saying it's possibly the worst book of all time. And this was a really interesting one. The book was called Don't You Dare Do That, Slimy Babies. And I imagine it's like a teenage pregnancy, like fear-mongering type book. Or it could be like a 90s, like gross-out slime-themed thing for kids. And then the fact that it's signed makes it sound like it was written by a celebrity or that the book was like really popular. And notice that all these assumptions just came from me. It wasn't explicitly written in the game. It was just, the text in the game was just a prompt for me to create all these jokes in my head. That's why I like using the randomization. Takeaways, I only have 2. Adding random element in your dialogue and in your text encourages curiosity. The player vaguely understands that it's not all just handwritten. There is a random element, so it makes them more likely to actually want to talk to NPCs or like read text, because you never know what you're going to get. You might get something completely nonsensical, which is hilarious, or variables that like align and do make sense, and because you know it's random, it's hilarious. And my other takeaway is that it puts, because humor is so subjective, you know, some jokes that are handwritten might not land with some people compared to others. So it pushes the actual humor onto the player themselves, where they can generate their own jokes instead of just reading jokes and maybe laughing and maybe not laughing. Like you saw with the book name, Slimy Babies. I was creating all the jokes myself. The game didn't actually have them in there. That's all.
That's awesome, mate. Thank you.